Leave now. Residents in Australia's third largest city are told evacuate after yet another wave of flash flooding wipes away homes, lives, everything in its path. The troubling tale, new details shedding light on the mind of the suspected shooter in Arizona. And it's snow, fun for some, but a major pain for many others who are not accustomed to a winter wonderland in America's South.
Live from CNN Center, this is The Brief with Jim Clancy.
And this is the half hour where we try to bring you the news that matters most into a little bit sharper focus. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Glad to have you with us. We're going to begin our report in Queensland, Australia, and what some are calling an inland tsunami. After weeks of flooding, the situation is only getting worse there. 3/4 of the state now declared a disaster zone. Evacuations are already underway in Brisbane. Authorities warn its 30 suburbs are at risk, with water threatening 6,500 homes. One of the latest flash floods swept through the town of Toowoomba, killing at least 10 people. Nearly 80 others are missing. Cars and trucks, no match for this rushing water. Earlier, Australia's Prime Minister issued a warning.
The rest of them are gone.
With 72 Australians unaccounted for, with floodwaters so dangerous and moving so swiftly, we do need to brace ourselves for the likelihood of further bad news. There are some communities that have been hit by floodwaters for a second time. Hit once, evacuated, gone back, and now being hit again. So the circumstances in Queensland continue to be very dire indeed.
All right, let's examine a little more closely these areas that we're talking about. Waterlogged Toowoomba lays in southeast Queensland. It's about 125 kilometers from Brisbane, the state capital. Now, in the worst hit areas, there's some despair, to be sure. There's confusion, of course, and in some cases even panic, as those with flooded homes are waiting, praying for help. Chris Reason shows us some of the rescues.
This is the Lockyer Valley town of Grantham today, 100 kilometres west of Brisbane, 400 people, 120 homes, many of them now in ruins. A scene of utter devastation. At least 4 people died here, including a mother and 2 children. There are fears it will be 6 as rooftop rescues continue. Dozens of people spent the night stranded, today hoisted to safety one by one. There are so many, men, women, children, even pet dogs. This family waves in desperation. Help came, but it took some time. Continuing bad weather is threatening helicopter rescues. It's dangerous for boats too, and road transport is out of the question.
What this current bad weather is doing is hampering our search and rescue efforts, particularly into that Lockyer Valley area where we know we have people stranded in dire and critical circumstances.
This car lies abandoned, one door flung open. It's hoped the occupants escaped, but no one can be certain with so many people listed as missing. The local river is called Sandy Creek. It's an inland sea, but it was much higher. This was one house yesterday afternoon. This is the same place today. You can see the tide mark on the roof. It came so suddenly. People online are calling it mad water. Emergency chiefs went much further.
Could perhaps best be described as an inland instant tsunami.
The rain began early yesterday, became heavy mid-morning, then all hell broke loose. A wall of water crashed down the Great Dividing Range at Toowoomba, sweeping into towns below. Places like Murphy's Creek, Helidon, Gatton, Glenore Grove and Grantham.
We have a grim and desperate situation in the Toowoomba and Lockyer Valley region.
These 3 were last seen clinging to their car roof.
We watched as the family clambered on top of the roof of their car. That's when we went and landed and made sure Queensland Fire and Rescue officer got in our chopper and went for a look. They did grid searches trying to find them. The car was swept down the river.
Rescue crews are searching.
But given the circumstances, we hold very grave concerns for many of those people who are unaccounted for in this region.
The Warrego Highway linking Toowoomba and Brisbane is cut, along with most alternate routes. Roads and bridges have been destroyed. This bridge appeared to be okay, but a closer look showed it had been well underwater. But that water is surging downstream with Brisbane directly in its path, and the rain isn't letting up. And authorities say a staggering 6,500 homes and businesses in the capital now face flooding by Thursday. Chris Reason, 7 News.
You know, whatever you call it, inland tsunami tragedy, I mean, the images there of that family atop their car, their uncertain fate, it really brings it all home. The question is, when will help arrive? Will Mother Nature help at all? Mari Ramos is at the International Weather Center. Mari, what's the outlook?
You know what? I think we're going to continue to see some heavy rain across some of these areas. But whether it stops raining, if it stopped raining right now, Jim, we will still have this massive wall of water continuing to make its way toward the sea, continuing to make its way toward Brisbane. We mentioned Toowoomba, which is where those amazing images were captured in and around this area. They've had over 300 millimeters of rain this week alone. There are some places along the coast that have had 200 millimeters of rain in the last 12 hours. The water rises very quickly. It eventually flows into some of these river basins that take it right through Brisbane proper. So let's go ahead and zoom in very quickly here, because I do want to show you a couple of areas. One of them in particular, right along the Brisbane River. Here, the water levels are expected to be higher than the 1974 levels. That level was about 5.5 meters. As we head into Thursday, that's going to be the critical day. During high tide, which should be in the afternoon hours, we could see this river rise atop those levels. The population density, the construction that was here in 1974 cannot be compared to the boom that has happened in Brisbane, a beautiful city, of course, Jim, now. So this is going to be a big concern. Another big concern tomorrow, Wednesday, around the afternoon time, around high tide, very high levels as well, but the bulk of the water not getting there until Thursday, and that is going to be critical. And of course, on top of that, it's still going to be raining.
Mari Ramos, live from the International Weather Center. Mari, thanks for keeping us posted.